Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Well, welcome to Atlanta, where we're going to try to get out of here in one piece today. 3025 is our, make sure that's not synchronizing there. 3025 is our QNH, and we're going to go ahead and fire up the plane. I just reloaded the Ultimate A-320, so there might be a couple of like little bells and whistles we have to reinitialize. So here I'm going to put here. Starting with, let's go ahead. The one thing about the A320 that it does is the goal is to get all the off lights to go away. Let's go ahead and get alignment started. We'll do a fire test. APU. Engine 2. That sounds good. Right, for fuel, we'll go ahead just to start out with, we'll just go ahead and turn all the pumps on. We're on external power now, but we're about to fire up the APU. So we're going to hit master APU bleed and start. Strobe is to auto, beacon, wing, and nav lights are on. Okay, let's go low. So let's go check our fuel. Chocks we don't need, but fuel. Okay, before I start changing anything here, cargo, all of these settings, let's go to the McDo. Good. And we're going to do an init request to get our flight plan. Uh-oh, request error. See what's wrong. Let's try that again. Init request. Right, thinking, request error. Huh, that's a first. Alignment still happening there, that's fine. But the problem with the flight plan is new. Well, let's try this. Let's try KATL. K. We're going to Rochester OC and 01. And there we've got all that listed out. Let's try to put that in the company route. Right, does not show. Okay. We check something before we get too far in. Normally it loads right up. We'll see why it's not working. Okay, so I do not see anything there. Let's try this. I'm going to go ahead and just put in KATL. What? My fault. And then KROC. What this might mean is we have to manually enter our flight plan, which I don't mind doing. That's quite peculiar. Something's going on here. Okay. All right. So our departure is going out on 26 left. Paget Smith. Right, that's coming along there. Let's go back and try this again. Yeah. Alright, we're going to be going to the Rochester and coming in on runway 22. And that will be ILS 22 will be coming in on. Okay, that's it. Alright, we're going to walk through our numbers here for our departure. This is normally, like I said, I don't have to do this. Don't know what's wrong. I don't mind doing it, but normally that's part of the automated process. All right, I see our path there. Let's see. So we're going out on Paget 2. From Paget 2, it says here that we'll go to Smith. Okay. After Smith, we've got Q67. Q67, why don't you see if it'll let me enter it this way. And it won't. Okay. So we're going to go back and enter HNN. And direct to EWC. Okay. And then from there, let's look at our path. So EWC, it's got its agent in there, EWC, and then we'll start our approach, which we already have in the system. So I'm going to clear this discontinuity. And it looks like we should be okay. Brian, would you please get our IFR clearance? All right. But okay, so we're not done yet. Because there's information we're missing in our flight plan here, so we're going to put in our flight number here.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 7673 requesting IFR clearance. We have Yankee.
Clearance in just a second.
Cost index on this flight is 40.
673, cleared to Rochester via the pad, get to departure. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.6 squawk 6755. Expect runway 26 left.
Okay. Right. We'll get through this. Our passenger count is 130 or 13. Oh. We need call for. We don't need air stairs. We need a jetway. Call for that truck. There we go. So they've got us, I don't know why we're having to do that air stairs. So 136 passengers. We're going to hit set. Wait. Okay. Fuel. We got our fuel truck out there. Okay. We need a block fuel of 18,539. Which sounds like pounds. Let's check our weights or measures here. Yeah, that is measured in kilograms right now, and that means we need to convert it. There. Brian, convert 18,539 pounds to kilograms.
18539 pounds is approximately 8410 kilograms.
Our cargo load is 7,015. Okay. Brian, I need you to convert 7,015 pounds to kilograms.
7,015 pounds is approximately 3,181 kilograms.
Okay, everything's still fairly in a good place, but I really need to move that around a little bit. So what if we do 1,000? Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. I've thrown that off. Let me reset this. Right, that's better. So right now, passengers are loaded. Fuel is set. There we go. The ZFW is already in place. Trip time, final. Okay. Block fuel's 8.4. Okay. Better. But I should not have had to load all that. Should not have been a part of what I'm doing. It's performance calculator. We're going to go ahead and get our runway information. QNH should be measured in 30.25. runway is dry. So already got our winds. Config will be a flex. Thrust it's placing our thrust at Toga. That's good. I've added that. And our flex right there will be Toga. So there won't be anything I put in there. Our flap configuration is 1, and we're going up 0.1. Alright, sorry for the delay there, guys, but I just want to make sure those numbers are right. Okay. Alright. So our initial climb is 10,000. Go. Brian, can you you're in charge of all comms on this flight.
I'll take over the comms, Steve.
Can you get our IFR clearance? No, I'm sorry. Cancel. Can you get our pushback and start clearance?
I'll get our pushback and start clearance.
Atlanta ground, Delta 7673, requesting clearance for pushback and engine start.
Delta 7673, pushback and engine start approved. Tail north.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I'm moving a little slow, guys, sorry. Check our position. So we're going 26 left. Facing right.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Pushback, start, gate, Delta 12. Southwest 1421, stay clear for pushback and engine start.
Alright, let's go. I don't have my passenger views configured yet. I just reloaded this plane.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a Cougar flyer.
We got smoke in the cockpit. Doggone it.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority,
I think it hit
and the
something.
shared responsibility
That's why
of everyone on board.
had a failure.
So, before we
Let's
depart,
check our
please pay
engines.
attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits,
All
and
right,
bulkhead
we
areas
should be
clear.
okay.
If you lose an electronic device in your
It's in
seat,
the way.
please
But I
do
think it's
not
because
adjust your seat
it ran
and
me
ask
into the
crew
gate.
member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members'
Operation complete.
instructions,
Set parking
along with
brake.
the posted placards and lighted information signs
Disconnecting
throughout
tow.
the cabin.
Stand by.
Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a rack.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits, and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes,
So it's disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane,
Ron,
inflate the vest
can you
by
get our
pulling down on the red
taxi
tab at the
clearance to
bottom,
runway
or
26
manually
left?
inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each
I'll
vest.
get our taxi clearance to
For
runway
children
26
under
left.
35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary. Before
Delta
takeoff, bring your seat to
7673,
its upright
runway
position
26
and
left,
stow your tray
taxi
table,
via 2
footrest,
northwest, 2
and leg
southwest,
rest.
Lima
Be
Delta
sure you fasten
Foxtrot
your
Echo.
seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment
This is
to
really
review the safety
sluggish
information
the
card
way
in
it,
your seat
way it
pocket.
feels.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Cabin attendants, arm doors, and books check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta Airlines Flight 7673, departing from Atlanta and flying to Rochester. We kindly ask you to pay close attention to the following safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for our frequent flyers. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle until you hear a click. To tighten, pull the strap. To release, remember, your seatbelt is closed and your seatbelt sign is in the Please return your seatbelts immediately to the position and ensure that your mobile lines are open for takeoff and landing. All mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops or larger devices should be securely stored during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are strictly prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen
This is
automatic.
a custom runway for Nimbus, but it's one of my favorite runways.
Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life vest is located under your seat or between the seats. To put it on, pull it over your head, fasten it, and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clear front. There are 2 exits located at the front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of an evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. For your safety, the brace position is to lean forward with your head down and your arms wrapped around your legs. Please follow crew instructions at all times. Finally, the safety information card in your seat booklet contains all the details you need. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
The detail here is pretty amazing. Like the Delta to the right, you have the Delta hangars, and that looks just like that when you're flying out. Right now we're taxiing down Echo to runway 26 left. I have to think for a minute where I am here.
Delta 7673, contact tower on 119.1 so long.
Switching to tower on 119.1. Delta 7. Atlanta Tower, Delta 7673. Good evening. We're holding short of 26 left, ready for departure.
Okay, runway lights off.
Delta 7673,
Landing lights on.
Atlanta Tower, runway 26 left, winds 220 at 6. RNAV impasse, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, RNAV impasse, cleared for takeoff. Delta 7673.
Let's reset our chronos. Brian, do the takeoff briefing, please. Got good takeoff there.
We'll be departing from runway runway 26 left. We'll be flying the pad get 2 departure with an initial climb clearance to 10,000. Transition altitude is 18,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile with a left turn to heading 280, intercepting M-Pass, climbing to flight level 370. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 6755 and departure frequency will be 124.6. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Getting lined up here. Get ready for takeoff.
Okay, Captain. Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
It's a beautiful runway, by the way. It's well done. Right, lined up. Front pressure on the yoke. A little bit of wind. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Delta 7673, contact departure on 124.6.
Flaps are retracted.
Switching to departure on 124.6, Delta 7673.
Thrust climb.
Atlanta departure, Delta 7673, evening, climbing past 2,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we plan to
Atlanta departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain 12,000, turn left heading 280, vectors to M-Pass,
and
as filed.
million milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family.
Climb and maintain
For your
1,000,
safety,
left
it's
heading
important to
280,
remain seated
vectors
with
to
your
M-Pass,
seatbelt
as
securely
filed.
fastened anytime
Delta
the seatbelt sign is on.
7673.
Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent
Right, direct to impasse.
Climb and maintain flight level 240.
Now reaching altitude,
Flight level 240, Delta
electronic
7673.
devices.
240.
Devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket
Okay.
in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a full selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages.
All landing lights are off.
Can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases.
We're right on track. Good.
Personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You'll find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flight.
Devices in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly, and we will be offering complimentary biscuit cookies, goldfish crackers with almonds, along with Coca-Cola beverages and Starbucks coffee. For those interested in purchasing snack boxes, they range from $8 to $10, with beer and wine at $9 and cocktails at $11. Please note that all purchases are cashless.
All right, we are at 12,000, climbing to 220, and eventually he's going to step climb us to 370.
Delta 7673, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310. Delta 7673.
Okay. We need to turn some lights on.
Delta 7673, contact Atlanta Center on 135.0.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 135.0. Delta 7673.
All right, let's see how it looks now.
Atlanta Center, Delta 7673, evening, climbing through 17,000 for flight level 310.
Atlanta Center, good evening.
Much better.
Delta 7673, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Thank you.
Climb and maintain flight level 370. Delta 7673.
Landings are the biggest challenge with this one. The balance on the A320 is just not, I don't know, to me it's not as good as the A321neo, but it lands a little hard. Like, yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about, but it's a little bit more rickety when it lands. Our distance to Rochester is 631 nautical miles. That's enough time for a good cup of coffee in a moment. As soon as I know we're on track, once we get out of our arrival, we leave our arrival, which will be at around Smith. When I see that we're following the proper path by Smith, I know we're okay. Dash different things on the A320 here from Flight Factor. This particular models, I'm not terribly, like, I would say impressed, but it's still an excellent plane. There is an updated A320 out now, I think by Thales, that probably I'm going to be checking out. We're having a little stuttering on the climb. I'm not sure what's up with that. Just noticed my show you what I mean. That's not good, and our frame rate's like about 57, so I'm not sure what is going on there. See, it's pausing for almost a minute. Great time for coffee right now. No, I don't think my flight attendant will give me the kind of coffee I want.
Delta 7673, direct Smith, then is filed, please. Delta 7673, contact Atlanta Center on 127.55.
Contacting Atlanta Center on 127.55. Delta 7673. Atlanta Center, Delta 7673. Good evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 7673, Atlanta Center, good evening.
Hey, Captain Steve. First Officer Brian, would you like anything to drink or a small snack? If you look a bit more awake in a minute, that's my turn.
Hey. Oh, hey. Sorry for the delay there. I had to go get coffee, Mark. me see. I am running, I guess, if I put, I may have fumbled that number. If I said 12.3.1, I may have fumbled that number. I need to check, but I'm basically on beta 5. Beta 5. 12.3. In fact, I may have, that 1 probably needs to be at a 0. Are you doing, are you on beta? Are you on the latest beta version? Right now we're on a direct to H&N path, and we're about 149 miles from H&N. Right, so far so good. Will be our top of descent. Let's get our QNH numbers in there for our arrival. To 977. Temp at our arrival is 1. Our decision height is 200. And winds are 240 at 14. Excuse me. Okay. We're still 452 miles outside of our destination. And I really I could time compress. I'm allowed to at cruise like this, but I was just not going to do it.
Delta 7673, Atlanta Center. Contact Indianapolis Center on 126.575.
Switching to Indianapolis Center on 126.575. Delta 7673. Indianapolis Center, Delta 7673, evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 7673, Indianapolis Center, good evening.
I will double check and make sure I wrote that correctly, but I thought that I was on 12.3.1 and then the O and then beta was the latter part of the number, but I will double check it. Very quiet tonight. That's good. 428 miles from Rochester. Rather straight shot, and it is cold in Rochester with light snow. We're going to be monitoring that very closely. This will be probably my first time recently having to use my wing anti-ice. Says the weather currently has scattered clouds, 2,700 foot overcast at 3,300 feet, and light snow. Brian, would you brief our descent and approach to Rochester?
We'll be arriving in Rochester on runway 22 using the ILS approach. Weather at arrival shows winds 255 at 15, gusting 24. Broken clouds at 3,000 feet, no significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 6755, and approach frequency will be 125.5. We'll configure for landing with flaps full. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
I agree, Brian. I do have forecasted current weather there as light snow, so we will probably utilize our anti-ice engine and wing. we have light snow upon arrival, so we'll use anti-ice on the wing and engines.
Not clear what you said. Say again.
Brian, there is snow at our arrival.
We'll use anti-ice on the wing and engines due to snow at our arrival.
Okay.
Indianapolis Center, Delta 7673. Snow is reported at our arrival, so we'll be using anti-ice on the wings and engines.
Really didn't
Delta
want.
7673, roger, copy that. Advise if you need any assistance.
I really didn't want him to tell them that. It's not necessary, but hey. Pretty ominous, huh? I don't think they have any extreme snow, but still, there. If you've got some precip with some freezing temperatures, we're gonna watch that real close. I'm not real fond of becoming an experimental plane. What do you call a aircraft with ice on the wing? An experimental plane. Got a good cup of coffee, I'm good. Right. So we're basically about 384 miles outside of Rochester, New York. We're currently at 370. And there is light snow in Rochester. So I don't think I've had a time this season that I've had to use anti-ice, but we'll probably use both anti-ice engine and wing on this flight. So temperature at our arrival is about 1 degree. It's about 34 Fahrenheit, and the dew point is -3 Celsius. That's 27 degrees. So humidity is about 75%. So yeah, I think we're gonna we're gonna watch that real close. Winds are currently at arrival are coming from 240 at about 16 knots, gusting to 23 knots, and and that is a concern because we're coming in. That would almost like give us a tailwind coming in. So we need to monitor that close, watch our speed, everything. But it ought to be uneventful. It's very quiet out here tonight. I'm in the Flight Factor A320 Airbus. It is it's the older one, the A320 Ultimate. If anybody's got it, you can drop a comment of what you think about it. I thought that they have always been very, like, they've been quirky. There have been some issues I've had before, just really anomalous issues that have ruined a whole flight. And if you don't watch your landing very closely, you'll be out. I mean, the balance is awful on landing in one of these. Could be the size, because it's a little bit smaller than the Airbus field. I think right now, but tonight we are carrying about 118 passengers. This one maxes out at about 136. That doesn't include the jump seats, but about 136. The snow out there looks ominous, doesn't it? Or the clouds. Once again, Xplane, you knocked it out of the park on the nighttime scenery. You it looks more believable than at some of the competitors. I think the difference, this is a Microsoft Xplane difference. Nighttime really does look a whole lot more believable on Xplane, whereas on Microsoft Flight Sim, they actually put more light. They try to illuminate a little bit more, which isn't really realistic. And so their major concern is just for you to be able to see everything. And so you can't tell where the light's coming from, such as a light post. You can't tell if it's a light source necessarily if a light post is there. Whereas with Xplane, you can tell that there is illumination coming from any particular light. So that's a big difference. But Microsoft Flight Sim does still knock it out of the park on daytime scenery. I've got to give them credit. They do. But Xplane's come a long way, I think. And I'm not going back. I'm staying with it. I'll stay with Xplane and all the updates. I'm not going back. I lost you on that talk. Sorry. How far out are we? Let's see. 344. It's pretty specific. It knows exactly what I'm in. Yeah. Temps dropped a little bit more. Now we're down to, no we're not. We're okay. Let's go ahead and set our brakes on medium. Okay. We will have a transition to get in position for our final. Just notice that. I need some juice here. Let's see. Distance. We're at 303. We're about to go under 300 miles from the runway. And our top of descent is still a little bit from us. I think here we've got 123 to EWC. Then about 89 to top of descent, so about 200 miles to top of descent. Okay.
7673. Contact Indianapolis Center on 125.075.
Alright, we're getting close.
To Indianapolis Center on 125.075. Delta 7673. Indianapolis Center, Delta 7673, evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Indianapolis Center, good evening.
Alright, we're about 280 miles outside of Rochester. I'm curious how much snow is on the ground when we get there. We'll see some snow. Check on my weather radar. Whoa, goodness gracious.
Delta 7673, Indianapolis Center. I'll call your descent in roughly 20 minutes. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner.
Nah, it's okay. Alright, let's see if we see any snow. Alright, Brian, yeah, go ahead and give us our descent and approach briefing.
We'll be arriving in Rochester on runway 22 using the ILS approach. Weather at arrival shows winds 230 at 16, gusting 23. Scattered clouds at 2700 feet. Solid overcast at 3300 feet. No significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 6755, and approach frequency will be 121.15. We'll configure for landing with flaps full. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
I think we are. Let's go ahead and do a quick review. Let's 22. All right. So we're coming in. Final approach. Heading is 224. I need to change our decision height. Well, okay, I've got it set. So right now I think we're good there. Our elevation at the arrival runway is 559. Missed approach is climb to 4,000 and go direct to FIDBA and on track 194 to G. Okay, and hold. So in the event of a missed approach, we're to climb to 4,000 and go direct to FIDBA. Okay. and then we're going to set for 3,000. And let it manage our descent down based on a flight plan. Okay. No hurry to get down, because I got a feeling it's cold down there. Yeah, we've got a bit before we descend. We're at 251 outside of Rochester, so we got plenty of time. Oh my goodness. So
Delta 7673, contact Cleveland Center on 135.175.
Switching to Cleveland Center on 135.175, Delta 7673.
okay.
Cleveland Center, Delta 7673, evening, maintaining flight level 370.
Delta 7673, Cleveland Center, good evening.
Just to review our numbers here. So our top of descent, still got a little bit before top of descent. And I already see there we have a hard limit at flight level 10,000 and also at 5,000. Okay. But yeah, I can tell there's some really cold precip where we're heading right now. Yeah, it's snow. It's snow. .226 outside. Let's see if Rochester's as like rigid about traffic directing as New York City. I don't think they will be. Delta 7673, can you report the weather at our arrival?
Delta 7673, Rochester weather, wind 230 at 16, gusting 23, visibility 5 miles, scattered clouds at 2700 feet, overcast at 3300 feet, temperature 1 degrees
All right. All right, the coffee's good. My coffee came from Honduras, fresh from 2 weeks ago. $20 bags of black gold. Actually, it's 22 bags. Alright. We're 10 minutes or less from descent right now. See if there's any other heat I can put on. Feeling really good about having anti-ice on the wings right now. Alright, see what happens. Okay. It is too quiet out here. Let's see. Alright, so we're 185 miles from our destination at 370. I think we're getting close. Getting close. Brian, we're ready to get our clearance for descent into Rochester.
I'll request descent clearance from Cleveland Center.
Center, Delta 7673 requesting clearance to descend into Rochester.
Delta 7673, whenever you'd like, descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descending and maintaining flight level 260, Delta 7673.
All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Rochester. We kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the usage of the lavatories is no longer permitted at this time. Thank you for your cooperation.
Attendants, please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
I don't know about 15 to 20 minutes, but it will not be too long. Right, we're on a slow, steady descent right now. We're at 340. We started out at 370 coming down. Looks like we're hanging out at about 270 knots. I like our rate of descent. Everything's real nice. We're about 1,000 feet per minute rate of descent. I don't feel like we're rushed. So it's managing it really well. The aircraft is. We're going to go through some clouds that have like moisture in them. A little concerned about that, and I don't know how to avoid it. This is just such a wide swath of area that those clouds are in, and I can't get around them. We are already.
Delta 7673, descend and maintain 16,000.
Okay.
Descending to maintain 16,000, Delta 7673.
Okay. We're already configured. We've done our performance numbers. We're all set for approach. Okay. There we go. We're about to break 300 to into the twos, join 20,000. Alright, we know our decision height is 200. Alright. Down to 280. So we have sped up. By the way, I'm not terribly concerned about it right now, but we have sped up to about 310 knots. We don't really have a crosswind per se, but it's a little bit more of a wind up here. It's coming at us at a little bit of an angle. It would be enough to crab us. Give us that crab look. There's those clouds. Keeping things good and hot. So close, so close. Let's see, where are we? We're 85 miles outside of Rochester. We are in need of slowing down. Just picking up speed too much. So I am going to activate approach phase. That will make us start slowing down. I have armed the ground spoiler, but I may have to use my speed brake unless something changes. Delta 7673, can you advise runway condition?
Delta 7673, runway 222528 are clear. Broom operations in progress near de-icing pad. Expect delays there.
Wow, you heard that. Okay. That's beautiful. We're still in good shape. We're about 70 miles out at about 230. We'll still have a transition once we get there because we've got to get turned around to come back and line up for the runway.
Delta 7673, descend and maintain 6000, altimeter 2974.
Descend and maintain 6000, altimeter 2974, Delta 7673.
Hit the expedite button on our descent, see if it can get us down. Seems to be like leisurely coming down. We need to be down. There it is. Brian, we are experiencing snow and precip.
We'll use anti-ice on the wings and engines due to snow and the precipitation.
Delta 7673, contact Cleveland Center on 120.625.
Switching to Cleveland Center on 120.625, Delta 7673. Cleveland Center, Delta 7673. Good evening. We're descending from 16,000 to 6,000.
Delta 7673, Cleveland Center. Good evening, Rochester. Altimeter 2974.
We're lit up right now.
2974, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, contact Rochester approach on 123.7.
Contacting Rochester approach on 123.7, Delta 7673. Rochester approach, Delta 7673. Good evening, descending from 13,000 to 6,000.
Delta 7673, Rochester approach. Good evening. Rochester altimeter 2972. Expect the ILS runway 22 approach into Rochester.
Altimeter 2972, expecting ILS runway 22 approach into Rochester, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, turn left heading 025 vectors for the ILS runway 22 approach.
Turning left, heading 025 for vectors to the ILS runway 22 approach, Delta 7673.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Rochester. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Kindly return your tray tables to their upright position. Ensure your seats are fully upright and fasten your seatbelts. Our assigned gate is Terminal A7. Crew, please check that everyone is seated and has fastened their seatbelts. Thank you for your cooperation.
Turning right heading 050, Delta 7673.
We're at flaps 2.
Left heading 020, Delta 7673.
$2,500.
not sure why he's taking us.
050.
There you go.
Right heading 050, Delta 7673.
We're close. We're parallel. This would be like we're on our downwind.
right, heading 060, Delta 7673. Left heading 040, Delta 7673.
Oh, okay.
Delta 7673, 3 miles from KEC. Turn left heading 080, cleared for the ILS runway 22 approach.
Left heading 080, cleared for the ILS runway 22 approach. Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, contact Rochester Tower on 118.3.
Switching to Rochester Tower on 118.3, Delta 7673. Rochester Tower, Delta 7673, evening. We're established on the ILS for runway 22 approach.
Delta 7673, Rochester Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 22.
You're all over it. Good job. All right, we're on final. We're on final right now for runway 22 ILS. I know it's been kind of quiet, but we're getting there. We're close to capture. We have captured.
$2,500.
Alright, we're currently 137, 138 knots on final. Flap configuration is full. We are set. Ground spoilers are armed. Brian, you want to brief for us one more time the approach?
We'll be arriving in Rochester on runway 22 using the ILS approach. Weather at arrival shows winds 230 at 16, gusting 23. Scattered clouds at 2700 feet. Solid overcast at 3300 feet. No significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 6755, and approach frequency will be 123.7. Will configure for landing with flaps full. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate terminal A7. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
500. Above 300. Minimum 200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Retard. 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 Retard.
Delta 7673, welcome to Rochester. Contact ground on 121.7.
Switching to ground on 121.7, Delta 7673.
This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use
Rochester ground,
caution when
Delta
opening your
7673, evening, clear to runway, ready to taxi
articles
to the
that may
gate.
have shifted.
That was a nice landing, just very
You may now use your mobile phones
uneventful.
and handheld electronic devices while we taxi
Delta
to the gate.
7673, Rochester ground, taxi to terminal gate A7 via Alpha 2 Alpha. Hold short of runway 10, then Charlie. Have a good day.
We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your staff out account.
Alpha, hold short of runway 10, then Charlie, terminal gate Alpha 7, Delta 7673.
For any other information, Uniform Delta agent leading this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-checking all calls.
Alright, so that's going to end this flight.